What's going on, fam? Back with another video. It's a pretty damn good day to be a bull because Ethereum has absolutely exploded today. We're speed running straight to that 4.1k resistance. As you guys can see, my squiggle line wasn't bullish enough. I did not expect, to be honest, Ethereum to actually speed run through all the smaller resistances. It's really looking like Ethereum will probably hit 4.1k by August, and of course this will definitely benefit our base native token assets. Bitcoin's still chopping sideways, but on lower time frames, as you guys can see on this green little bullish flag, it has actually broken out. So this probably indicates that Bitcoin all-time high will probably come by maybe even this weekend, or at the very least early next week. But without further ado, I'm Dope Oxide. I make content on YouTube, X, and CoinMarketCap, so be sure to follow those pages. Be sure to like and subscribe. And let's get right into it. First of all, for liquidations, we had a decent amount of liquidations today, $600 million, with the majority being on the short side just slightly. And as it stands, long-short ratio is sort of tipping to the long side, which is of course not really ideal. I would rather the majority be on the short side, but of course, massive green day for Ethereum, so it is to be expected. For liquidation heat map for Bitcoin, we're having quite a bit of liquidations happening at the lower end, at the 117 key region. So let's see if that hits, because of course when it comes to Bitcoin's technical analysis, it's looking quite bullish. So let's see if these liquidations do get sweeps. But if I was to guess, probably not. It's really looking like this lower time frame breakout is actually looking really good and promising. Next up is the long-short ratio. It's looking like we're actually making a higher low here. Of course, I've told you guys on previous videos, the long-short ratio looked like it wanted to squeeze up, and we might actually be printing a higher low here for more continuation to the upside, which is of course to be expected because bull markets definitely have higher interest when it comes to the leverage markets, and it's a natural process of the shorts and bears slowly turning into bulls. So of course, every time the bull market and the final leg to the upside for bull cycles has begun, we had the long-short ratio really increase into the upside. And when it comes to more recent, when we first hit that 60k region, we also had another uptrend. So I do expect the same to occur. But something to note, and that's very bullish, is we're well into the 120k region, but we still barely have had that breakout yet. We technically might even just close below, but it's looking like it might just be early signs for that higher low to print. So of course, it means time is ticking, but we definitely still have at least another 2 months to go for this final leg up to the upside. And of course, the Bitcoin leg up to the upside for 150k target has not been met yet. Next up is Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. I've told you guys, look, we're going straight to 2.9 after this breakout was happening pretty much 2 weeks ago. And we've had that breakout. We've finally actually touched that 2.9 key region today. And my base case to you guys has always been, we're probably going to hit some resistance here. So I do expect a red candle to occur after probably tomorrow or the weekend. But let's see where we go, because when it comes to Ethereum's USD chart pairing, it's looking absolutely explosive. And who knows really, we might just slice through this. That will probably be the most bullish case scenario, because if we slice through this and have a retest, it's going to be absolutely amazing for our base native token assets. But of course, I told you guys, look, base case is having some turbulence and resistance at this area. It's not bad. It just means we need more time to consolidate. But let's see where we go, because if we do hit this, it just means my base thesis really since May 2025 has been correct. And my main reason why is this is an inverse parabolic move, and typically parabolic moves usually break down to the downside where it actually started from. So of course, the breakdown from the parabolic move was technically around the 7.6 key region. And if we match that diagonal trend line, technically the target would be around that 4.8 region. But let's see where we go. My base case hasn't actually been to hit the 4.8. My minimum target has been 4 flat, because to be honest, when it comes to Ethereum and hitting that 4 flat region, that would actually mean Ethereum makes another 45% move compared to Bitcoin. So if we're under the assumption that Bitcoin goes to 150k on this next leg up to the upside, it's 45%, and then you have to calculate the differential with 25%. So it's probably at least 60% move from here, which of course mean that Ethereum is going to be in all-time highs in the next few months or so if that thesis does play out. Of course, very exciting times, because if that hits, TOSHI, Alien Base, etc. will absolutely explode. We're already seeing some really nice move on TOSHI and Alien Base, so be sure to watch later in the video. But when it comes to total coin market cap as well, we had that consolidation, we had that breakout, And really, it's looking like we're going straight for all-time highs here. And if we do hit all-time highs, price discovery will begin. And they'll be absolutely amazing for our altcoins because it just means more inflows and more capital is actually flowing into our altcoins, which will, of course, pump our tokens like base chain, etc. Next up is stock market. I don't think I was bullish enough on stock market because it's actually like smashed through the bull flag I actually made a few days ago. And we actually made a new all-time high. So let's see where we go. It could be a fake out. My bias has always been a higher stock price means more capital potential to flow into our tokens. And of course, as the stock market goes up, the major like markets will definitely start heading to risk on assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and TOSHI, ALB base, etc. So looking quite bullish, but let's see where we go because I would definitely want to see a weekly close above his bull flag. It's looking like we will because it technically closes in 19 hours. And if we do get that weekly close, it's going to look absolutely amazing. And next week might just be a massive run to the upside for the stock markets. And my base case has always been this stock market move, this V reversal, is the final blow off top stage of the stock market. But of course, since it's in the blow off top phase, more than likely, like the time is ticking for our crypto assets, and really we don't have much time left. But of course, when it comes to the later end stages of the cycle, that's where most of the gains are made. So be sure to take profits when things go crazy because it's going to get a hell lot more crazier now because like you guys can already see with Ethereum. Like Ethereum's going straight up from here, and really the next major resistance is that 4.1k region. After that, it's all-time high, 4.8k. And definitely if we get over that, we're going to see a massive rotation from Ethereum to base native token assets. And that's why I always cover you guys. Look, when it comes to base chain's going to get a lot of rotation from Ethereum because it's the clear chain winner of this cycle, in my opinion. And it's just a straight up high beta of Ethereum. So if you guys think Ethereum will do well for the remainder of the bull cycle, base chain will also do well. My thesis for base chain, really for picking tokens, has always been just throw a dart. If a token is building on base chain, it's probably going to do well. And TOSHI Alien Base is definitely one of my top picks, but of course there is more tokens that you guys should be looking at. This is just a handful I look. There's of course other ones to look at, like Aerodrome, etc. But these ones have really good risk to reward in my opinion, and that's why I constantly cover you guys and update you guys these tokens. Next up is the altcoin season index. I will start covering you guys this chart because in my opinion, this will be a really good indicator to actually begin taking profits. My taking profit point is definitely that 75k region because usually that means peak euphoria is occurring. And really once it gets past 75, you don't have much time. You probably have at least probably a few days, but at the very most like 2 months, and most likely like less than that. So once it gets past 75, definitely start aggressively taking profits in my opinion, because once that occurs, not much time is left. And another reminder too, you guys definitely should already be fully positioned in the markets because the trend is up. And really, when it comes to buying dips, I would say yes, buy every single dip on the tokens you have full conviction in, because you guys don't have much time left in this bull cycle. Of course, when it comes to tokens like TOSHI and Alien Base, I gave you guys peak risk to reward accumulations. For Alien Base, it was this purple box. We've finally gone out of it because we actually broke that mid-range. I told you guys on my X page a few days ago why the mid-range for Alien Base was actually so important. Let me just find the tweet here. Yeah, so this tweet was just pretty much telling you guys, look, once we get past the mid-range at the 6.3 region, I do expect acceleration. And we're seeing just that. We had that mid-range break, and we're seeing acceleration to the upside. And really, the nail in the coffin for the bears, and pretty much to tell you guys, look, the time is ticking now for Alien Base, is once we break above that top range of the accumulation range, which is 17 mil. Reason why it's so significant, we've touched it multiple times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this is like a really good confluence level where if we break above, that means Alien Base is getting a lot of rotation and a lot of strength back inside the coin. And really, the next path of pain is to the upside. And the first time we actually broke out, we had a massive run. I think it was, what was it? Yeah, it was like 7x. And the second run, which was a fake out, of course, that even though it was a fake out, it was still 3x from the lows. So if we do expect the same, even if it's just a fake out from here, we can expect at least a 2.5x from the previous lows. But of course, I'm not expecting it for Alien Base to do a fake out because Ethereum is just looking so good right now. And I do expect continuation to occur. I expect base chain to really start popping off and a base season, alt season to occur on base chain. And a reminder as well is, why I'm so bullish on Alien Base. Alien Base is the second largest base native DEX on base chain. Of course, Aerodrome is the main one, but Aerodrome, like when it comes to risk to reward, I don't really like tokens absolutely massive at this point in time, because I just think that when it comes to multiples and the potential, it isn't too crazy. I really do believe Aerodrome will head way into all-time highs past the 2 billion point, but I just think Alien Base will have better multiples, hence why I've accumulated a position in Alien Base as well as TOSHI. Of course, TOSHI is the largest base native meme coin on base chain. And just to give you a heads up as well, TOSHI is looking so good right now. We had that major breakout point on major resistances. So of course, another reminder is to, let me just take away the RSI. We had really good retest on the moving averages. So as you guys can see here, it's a nice level of confluence. Every time we had that major support levels tested, we had a nice move to the upside. So we tested it multiple times as support. We've broken up. Now we're above the major area we actually distributed on our first wave one. And this is a really good indicator as well, because as you guys can see, we've had two major wicks on top of us on the dailies. And this just tells me there's so many sellers at 300 million, and I would definitely be bidding at the major level support. Our major level support is this 6.5k region. As long as we hold that, I do expect continuation to occur for TOSHI, and these wicks are definitely going to be filled eventually, because of course every time TOSHI goes up, the sellers are getting slowly picked off and exhausted. It's going to get a point, there is so much seller exhaustion that pretty much the only way is up. The buying pressure will take over and will definitely break up to the upside. And that really the next major resistance point is that 8.4 key region as well as 9.9. And after that, it's all-time highs. So like once we break apart past that, it's going to be absolutely crazy for TOSHI, and I do expect a massive multiple for TOSHI and Alien Base. But when it comes to the verdict, really, it's looking so good for base chain. Base chain is definitely getting set up for a massive altcoin season, and I've always told you guys, I've pretty much told you guys the past few months, the prerequisite is Ethereum. It's playing out right now. Pretty much the last nail in the coffin for you guys when it comes to time. Once Ethereum breaks that 4.1k, look, like I really hope you guys have a really good position in base chain and base native token assets. This is a time when base chain will go absolutely balls to the wall, like massive green candles, and really the prerequisite is breaking that 4.1k and having a brief time of consolidation, because I do think when Ethereum starts consolidating, that rotation will go into base and base token assets like TOSHI, Alien Base, etc., maybe even Aerodrome and other token assets. And yeah, and last thing too, I forgot to tell you guys. So this is a tweet from Cat and Meow, and Bitcoin weekly chart is actually looking like it really wants to break out of his weekly RSI. This is so significant because this weekly RSI downtrend has been put in since March 2024, so over a year. And this is a really good indicator. If we do break above, which we most likely will, we're going to probably have the most explosive move up for this bull cycle ever. And if that does happen, we're going straight to 150k in my opinion. I think it does happen in August if we get that weekly breakout. And 150k Bitcoin will most likely mean Ethereum is making all-time highs if it keeps up this Ethereum to Bitcoin chart trend. And I've said it so many times, like, look, base chain is the chosen chain. If you guys haven't already accumulated tokens, like, look, all I can say to you is, like, TOSHI, just wait for retest of his 6.5k region. I really hope you like that retest once again. And same goes for Alien Base. If we see a retest at probably like the $13 million region, that's probably a good area to retest. I don't think the mid-range will be touched again, just purely based on the case that we have really nice support at this 13 mil already. And I don't think massive crashes will occur in the next few months or so. So let's hope we get a retest of that 13 mil region, because if you guys do it, I would definitely start accumulating there. And same goes for TOSHI. So it's looking really good for our altcoin bags. I just feel sorry for you guys that haven't already accumulated base native token assets, because I've been telling you guys like for multiple months now. Like, when did I start making YouTube videos again? It was like, I think at least 3 months ago. Yeah, so at least 3 months ago, and my thesis has not changed. Base native token assets will go absolutely explosive. And even right now, Ethereum, I think just recording this past video, yeah, Ethereum is just going up and up and up. So it's looking really good for our tokens, and it's just a matter of time, really. Like, base chain will go absolutely explosive. I've told you guys multiple times on my thesis, and going back to my thesis, actually, let me just go back to it. My thesis has always been Coinbase will be funneling their 100 million users from the Coinbase platform into the Base L2 chain, and this has been confirmed. Coinbase just rebranded their Coinbase Wallet app, so their Coinbase Wallet app to Base. So a lot of people and a lot of retail users will start getting attracted to base native token assets, and there will be a DEX integration next month where all retail users of Coinbase will actually be able to purchase base native tokens, like any token, as if they're using a DEX. So it's going to be absolutely massive. There's going to be a massive influx and inflows of capital into the base chain ecosystem. So your goal really should be is purchasing really strong projects on base chain that are actually building. TOSHI is the number one base native meme coin. Alien Base is a clear high beta of Ethereum and AERO is one of the biggest base native token DEXs. And yeah, that's all really, like, so bullish on base chain, and I really hope you guys have already accumulated. I'm sure you guys have, but for the new viewers, that's my heads up. Like, base chain will go absolutely explosive in my opinion. When it comes to price targets, I don't generally like telling you guys what my price targets are, because price targets is all just a gamble. But I can tell you this, the trend is up for base chain, the trend is up for Ethereum, and the trend is up for Bitcoin. But that's all to the video, guys. If you guys like the video, like and subscribe. Comment down below if you guys like the video and if you guys want me to cover any other subject pieces. But until next time, have a good one. Have a good day. Peace.